Hello, friends. Welcome to Speed Gaming, where we have the Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly. And this has sort of been a month of touring best of for prior tournaments, if you will. Fury, what are we revisiting tonight?
We're revisiting one where you don't get a pointy object at all. It's from the 2019 Spring Tournament, All Boards, No Swords.
Well, I mean, that sort of depends on your definition of arrows being pointy, but sure. So no swords. Well, then what happens with the white sword?
Oh, you just don't look for that at all. Who needs 2 extra bombs?
And they can get a bomb upgrade with either the wood or not wood, white or magical sword. Chad, are you feeling hyped tonight? How about it? Not seeing enough hype in chat. Somebody, gosh, rise to the occasion and excitement. Chat does agree with me, though, that arrows are pointy objects. So obviously, kind of your holy grail item in this is not necessarily that it's required, but you want to see it, is that wand. How early do you think we're going to see it tonight? Or are we?
Unfortunately, you will absolutely see it at some point, because I don't think they turned Ganon off for even the Swiss portion of this flag set. So we're definitely going to see it. I guess we're hoping it's somewhere in level 7, because that's just fun.
That or 9, since they need all the Triforces to get through there.
Yep,
that'd be a pretty big troll.
Yep, important items in 9 is on. And wand does get converted to important in Swordless, but yep, that would be a fun place too.
Well, then our big goal early has to be finding that repeatable offense in some form or fashion.
I don't think we'll see the wand in 9, though. There's a lot that has to go right for that to actually happen. Not that it didn't happen recently enough. In fact, the last time I think we were on Speed Gaming with the Swordless Seed, it was in 9. But you have to avoid a couple of bosses that require you to have the wand in your hands to be able to kill them in this setup.
Now, I'm pretty sure with Truant, Steel, and Captain Green, as everybody picks up their blue candle, that they all did run the All Boards, No Swords. I don't remember if Alsoa ran it, but I believe he was doing commentary throughout it.
Yeah, all 4, I think, ran this. Alsoa definitely did. He was doing well early on and then ran into some buzzsaws and not so well after.
Well, sometimes the seed just does not agree with you, and sometimes another runner just has the number of that one. The Death Mountain start is not necessarily the most fun, but with the Dark Nuts on the overworld here, they're actually a little easier to navigate than some other enemies might be. By the way, helpful hints are on tonight, so you may be able to convert some of these rupees into information about what dungeons have items we want. Chat's saying 27's small. That would actually be the medium rolling down. That'd be too high for the small. So, a runner's looking for this Armos item. We've seen 2 of them so far with no results. That Armos item could make a big difference before you start going through dungeons, but we haven't found any dungeons yet. Well, how about this, chat? You've got 1 to 9 for guesses. What do you think our first level located is gonna be? Is it gonna be level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or even level 9?
On a side note, it looks like the door repair being 15 is going to make this money-wise not even a big problem this seed. It wasn't going to be anyways with first quest money. You could have a 50 basically and still have enough money. But chat's going to get their answer as to whether or not they're right or wrong right off the bat.
How about that for our tracker Kairos coming in with the level 4 guess? Soa is our first to find a level, and we've been able to make some progress with these keys, but I'm noticing it seems like everything from the dungeon other than these keys has gone up into the overworld. Just 2 rupees to purchase you a 4-pack of bombs. How about that? Have you ever wanted a 5 so bad?
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not a rare shop as well, because that's a really crummy spot to kind of have to go farm bombs from the shop.
Just this blue candle, there's a lot of experimentation to see what you can kill with that one hit. You have to be able to kill it, leave the room to get another recharge of the candle. Our killing ability is going to be pretty low and absolutely non-existent against blue Wizrobes. With that heart, though, Eat My Steel now has the minimum for being able to pick up the White Sword Bomb upgrade if he wants to cross it. That is a nasty level 4 to only have a blue candle for. Of course, is there such a thing as a non-nasty dungeon to only have a blue candle for?
No, not really. Even in overworld enemy shuffle, you're always going to have a couple of rooms you can't beat unless you get at least some bombs.
Soa has found his second level, our second on stream with level 1. And now a little bit more likely to be able to pick up the White Sword item after going up to 5 hearts. Not going to be able to kill those Gibdos, but you could check and see if the keys are the high priority item. Or enemy. Not item. Gonna opt for Candle Row instead.
With vanilla shapes involved here, first quest, can't get anywhere without another bomb, so he's probably going to go back to 1 the moment he gets a bomb pack.
Well, so far we've only seen that one shop. Which, by the way, we know that that's the minimum it could be in. But if we see a second one, it means there's at least 3. A lot of world we haven't explored yet. Fury, when you're up against something like this, what part of the world do you like to explore?
Typically, you want to go forest side first. Just if no other reason, you want to have bombs when you get into dungeon, and going up to Death Mountain, you sacrifice all of that potential quantity of bombs if you had to open everything up just to find the dungeon. So go to Candle Row. Your single-use item will not deplete on that candle.
3 of these any roads coming up right next to each other. Not that useful, but they do actually work out a little bit for Eat My Steel's exploration. So is anything useful going to be up in the Northeast? Well, there's a hint shop. They are helpful tonight. but nowhere near enough money to actually be purchasing any. So it's probably feeling like this is the best 4 rupees he's ever spent.
Yeah, so far that's the only one that everybody seems to have found, so that's not a good sign at all. But level 6.
Yeah, we also have located level 9 just right of vanilla start. 6 looking to be at vanilla level 8. First quest, of course, when I say that. Not too much dungeon exploration yet. Pretty held back. Oh, there is the wand! It's rider required. That's your classic good news, bad news situation, because of course they know where it is now, but yeah, you're gonna have to find the ladder first.
I think Ema still is just trying to find some sort of money in the seat at the moment. Because he's the one that definitely has our hint shop location determined. And that's probably what a lot of these runners are going to honestly try and do unless they find level 1, level 2, level 3, and they have a candle and 8 bombs to their name.
Druid has started some exploration of this 7. Now, we've not seen any of the dungeon items yet. We've seen a couple of hearts on the ground. And there is one of the bomb upgrades that's just left of Vanilla Start. So that's going to be en route for 9 at least. So we should see at minimum one of the bomb upgrades, unless that's Magic Sword. Then maybe they don't get enough hearts. But I would imagine they're going to have a pretty fair number of hearts. That one's the White Sword upgrade, actually. And they're both right next to level 9. So the Magic Sword bomb upgrade is 2 left of 9, and 1 northeast of 9 is the White Sword upgrade. 8 block to be used this evening. Because, yeah, we just were casually able to walk right by it.
Yep, throwing it into that column of level 6 is a little bit of a concern, but at the same time, you're entering from the north, so it's not as big a deal.
So, folks, just please pardon our dust here. It is just going to take a moment for things to come back up as technical problems are being sorted. So let's kind of reintroduce for the moment what's going on here. This is the Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly. This Boards No Swords tournament. So our runners will not get a sword to complete this with, but Alsoa will get to take a red ring out of the staircase in level 1, and that is a very nice defensive upgrade.
Yep, I don't think it'll be something that people miss too much of, though, because being a level 1, a lot of people will tend to search that earlier if they can find it, and certainly at least 2 of our runners know where level 1 is, and just didn't. 1 has the bombs now, and 1 has yet to go back there with said bombs.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate room for progress. Hate to see a bunch of enemies you can't kill in 1 hit in double shutter room. But yeah, 1 very much favors exploration, it being that short dungeon.
Looks like Lois also there. Yep. So we got 1 of the hints at least. I don't know that he got any others.
He's got a little bit of money left, so I don't think he bought all 3 because he wouldn't have had enough money. Unless he found the large secrets back to back in the moment we weren't on screen.
It looks like he also bought a hint that told him power bracelets in 3, so 2 hints that we saw. I don't know if we saw the 3rd, apparently heart in 5, so 3 useful hints for him, and 3 useful hints for us as well.
Using a bomb to kill a Keese, that can't feel good. A Triforce, on the other hand, that certainly can feel good. Do you think our runners will be a little liberal with the bomb weapon usage in light of the fact that they're only 2 rupees, despite how far it may be to travel?
I think that they will save combat rooms where they require bombs early in dungeons, but you get more liberal the further you get, simply because you don't want to have to dig all the way back there later to solve whether or not there's a Triforce on the floor or something.
Well, at this point, it feels like we've seen more of level 1 than any of these other dungeons, but we do have exploration going on in 6 and 7. Now Captain Green's also located too.
Yep, I can certainly agree with the dig of level 2. I guess you look around, make sure there's not a free item in level 6 or level 7, but generally speaking, digging something like that early is just hoping that you strike gold basically and find the ladder at this point.
Goma creeps in the forest. That is another important factor we maybe didn't mention, is that we're going to have dungeon hints that are helpful as well. Not just the hint shops. Chat says, I need more eyes to see all this action. Well, so much hype we can barely keep it contained. Miles do seem to be going down with a bomb.
Yep, that is a guarantee given that the HP of our enemies is not shuffled.
That's one of the most surprisingly useful things to me when you know the enemy HP, because under different flags where it takes multiple hits to kill a Keese even with a sword, that is one of the most disorienting things that can happen in Randomizer to me. Chad asking about, did we find the bow or was it a hint? It was a hint. Pretty sure he did not find it yet because he didn't pick up the Triforce. Well, he did pick up the Triforce, never mind. Yeah, he was still exploring because he didn't have the bow yet.
Yep, he cannot get any further north because there's a key door there and his key count is unfortunately a 0. So it looks like you need at least 2 keys to get to the bow if it's up in the very top portion of level, but there was at least one other room he could not clear or did not choose to clear, the lower portion.
And that will be the floor drop item for the bow. By the way, the staircase item was the red ring. Truant finds the map. Who needs it? And if you don't have them memorized, Z Helper does have the vanilla maps available. But that said, I think with all these runners, they have a pretty good feel around the vanilla dungeons by now.
Yeah, outside of getting lost on which column you're in, like level 7, 8, or 9, it's something that all these runners should be well versed with at this point. Dungeon shapes.
Steel ran into not just a Goma block, but a ladder block at 7. It's reset out and gone back in to look for something else. Are you surprised that Steel is willing to invest this much time into 7 early?
Yeah, it's definitely not the most common play, but again, maybe he's just hopeful that there's some big payday here.
Alsoa has now joined him in level 7.
Guessing Captain Green got blocked up or something at level 2 because he's now moved to level 4.
He was out of there pretty quickly, in fact. Well, it feels like this is going to take a lot of exploration to find our ladder and or some keys.
Yeah, of all the people, if anyone chose to go to level 7 to dig, I think it would currently make the most sense for Captain Green to be the one in there, simply because he has the most hint knowledge as to where things are. And he's seen just about everything except for the red ring in 1 as far as what our tracker shows in the middle. So he would have the most information to know that level 7 is one of, say, only 4 or 5 dungeons left looking for the ladder.
Now, for those who don't know, why don't you explain what Captain Green just did in that trap room with his candle?
Fairly simply, the trap does a full heart worth of damage, and the candle does a half heart, and you get some iframes or invincibility frames once you take your initial damage. So, simply put, he candle boosted his way past a half heart worth of damage and into a room where there were 2 hearts worth of damage in the form of Lewis rooms that he could get by.
Meanwhile, our Armos item is revealed for Truant Gamer picking up the recorder. I guess Eat My Steel already had it and I just missed it. That does open up one location we've not seen yet. Truant seeing a hint for the red ring. Old news. Korea grumbles with the magic boomerang. And Goma creeps with the boomerang. So we get hints for both of the boomerangs and the red ring that we already knew where it was.
So where have we seen the blocks? Have we seen a block in level 4 as far as a ladder block is concerned?
We saw one in 7, although I'm not sure where it is in 7. But that Goma was in a ladder required room. Not seen any dig daggers yet. Was that no feat of strength to save the princess?
It looked like it was saying no feat, so I would go with that.
So no dungeon is going to be power bracelet blocked.
Yep, so CG7 has that power bracelet hint. If he also stumbles upon the no feat of strength hint, then naturally he may choose to just peace out of level 3 instantly when he finds it. But here's level 8, which is looking more and more likely to actually have the ladder at this point.
This probably is noteworthy. Eat My Steel saved up a whole bunch of money, then went and purchased a blue ring. It's not a common play in these weeklies, but sometimes a little extra defense makes a big difference. Especially because sometimes you just got a damage boost through rooms.
Yeah, the only downside I would say to buying the blue ring is, A, we know, and 2 of our runners know where the red ring is. But he could have also had that money available to get the hints first, retried out of the hints, and gotten his money back before buying the blue ring. So he's going to miss out on a little bit of information, and if he happens upon the bow as his first repeatable weapon, he won't have a whole lot of money left to fire off arrows if and when he's able to afford purchasing them.
Captain Green, by the way, just saw his inventory. He did purchase the wood arrows. I'm not big on making that play before I have the bow, but I can understand why anybody would want it in case they find the bow.
Yeah, and in his case, he has a hint for the bow being in here, so it saves him a trip if he needs that to speed up his combat in level 1.
That does make a significant difference now. Leaving keys or life doesn't feel great, but Captain Green is going to leave the life. A red ring, and obviously no magic sword. Is 2 bombs really worth it? Probably not. So Captain Green does make the choice to sacrifice life, and has a couple keys, so that won't stop him in this one. Steel just found the heart container out of 8. Feels like we're starting to see some things we've not seen yet.
I think we're basically down to just level 3 and level 5 that we haven't physically seen their locations and just have hints for.
Item-wise, though, a bunch of things we'd love to see we haven't so far. That ladder, of course. The red candle is a very prized item under these flags just because you can throw it in unlimited quantities.
Yeah, I certainly think it's going to be something that Eat My Steel has the best chance of finding right now. He's kind of gotten good fortune in the fact that he hasn't seen any of the hints, but the hints don't tell us what's in level 8. And he's got 2 chances now that he's eliminated the staircase, the transport staircase. He has not eliminated that room with all those blue wizrobes, though, as far as I'm aware.
He has taken one of the 3. Well, he found the dungeon heart container.
So that's a pretty unfortunate room to find. In his shoes, probably doesn't go straight back there with bombs, but we'll see if Captain Green makes that decision once he gets to that room in level 8. I'm assuming that wasn't the other side of the transport because I think it was one to the left of it.
The other side was in the bottom row of the dungeon. He went in there was no door, and he went back through the transport.
See, so yeah, that's a potentially unfortunate room if that has the ladder. It's a lot of blue wizrobes, and even on vanilla health, you almost want to have the 8 or even 10 bombs to fight through that room.
A reminder that Captain Green is looking for a floor drop, which we know from hints is the bow. And there it is for Captain Green.
Yep, so this speeds him way up now that he has bow and wood arrows because he can fire those off. Now, he does have to be a little bit careful until he finds another medium or large secret to get his money total a little bit higher, but he'll certainly take that item.
It took quite a bit to explore that level 1, but ultimately it was a question of the keys, and Captain Green was able to get a couple, make the progress, and pick up the bow. I'd say that's certainly an advantage of our on-stream runners so far.
Looks like Truant has found his way into level 3 in the meanwhile. We know there's a power bracelet in there. He does not currently.
Thanks to hints, we know that this level 7 is being a typical level 7, having the magic boomerang.
Yeah.
You go through all those rooms, all those enemies, you find the magic boomerang.
Yeah, while not thrilling, in Swordless, it's probably the one discipline where you're going to see people, regardless of whether they like the regular or the boomerang, will pick up either because of the ability to get through rooms like this without having to damage boost or otherwise.
A lot of Lionels running around at level 7. El So's had enough. Yeah, I suppose it's worth mentioning another discipline that our runners have to manage under these flags is their bomb counts. That becomes really critical for these.
Yep, you can also track where the old men are in dungeons. Every hit that you have on them will knock the counter up, so it's a nice little tool to establish your 10 count. Take a fireball from the old man, hit him 9 times, and go for a bomb drop.
Again, Captain Green was able to pick up that white sword upgrade, which was +2 bombs, so he's able to go around here with 10 instead of just 8. And considering arrows are his primary weapon, it's going to be leave no fiver behind.
Also is going back for a second item in level 1. I think he's going to be a little bit sad when he sees the room that he has to clear with just a blue candle.
Big chance here for something to come up for Captain Green. We couldn't get a look at this reverse C earlier, but it is a staircase. And it will be the magic boomerang. Captain Green says no.
Regardless of the color, I actually somewhat disagree on that decision making because it's. I guess with the with the red ring in hand, it maybe is not as important, but again, just getting through rooms and not having to deal with combat, especially against Lionels that would normally be on the overworld, I couldn't pass up the regular boomerang.
Well, the other thing I was thinking is he has the arrow to shoot at stuff to pick it up instead of needing a boomerang for that.
Yeah, but again, he's only got 26 shots at the moment. Even with Pole's voice in the overworld, don't want to be firing away all willy-nilly unless you find, again, some more money.
Now into level 6, which is where we know the wood boomerang is. My steel exploring close to start should find that bomb upgrade soon. In fact, this is the screen it's on.
And you'll notice that Captain Green did not pick up the Triforce. It's not that uncommon to see runners kind of just item and go in swordless until they get the wand, because the wand is such an impactful item in terms of your clear speed that they'd rather just find that first and then come back and go twice as fast as long as it's not a whiz rope set.
Truant has found the power bracelet. We know it's not required, but we are still missing a couple of dungeons, so you start to wonder if Raft is required.
I would say it's probably a little unlikely. I think it's only level 5 that's missing, and with the raft knowledge outstanding, it would basically have to be in level 2 or 8 at this point for that to come into play.
Well, there is a good bit of Death Mountain we haven't explored yet, but that's up where Truant is now. Trying to rectify that. Another big thing for Captain Green is he's coming into these dungeons with a couple of keys. And it's definitely a difference maker in terms of exploration. You find a rupee boss room when arrows are your primary weapon, you're certainly not going to pass up on any of those.
To answer the question about Recorder Lake, I think that Eat My Steel was back in that area with the recorder in hand clearing through.
It was checked. I saw leaving it. I didn't actually see what was in it. but it was checked. Well, Soma has amassed a key count, but he's out of bombs. And Eat My Steel is finally going to upgrade that blue ring for a red. I've always said I would gladly pay 250 rupees for the next item I find to be the red ring.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself a little bit, though. Now knows how easy that red ring was to find.
Well, I don't think this is going to come as any kind of shocking statement, but it looks like the way to make progress in this one was get a couple of keys and get through this level 1 so you can get the bow. Right now, it's really only Captain Green who's charging into new territory for us. My Steel does not want to pay the toll, but I think that is a required toll.
It is not a required toll because you can get in from the right side of the above.
Okay.
Just because of the way level 1 works, the only way that would not be the case is if it had a right-hand staircase or Zelda's room. And level 1 can't have Zelda's room in it at all.
Captain Green has found the wood boomerang and gonna go ahead and pick that up.
Yeah, for completion's sake.
I was just thinking of the toll being in terms of Captain Green did pay the heart to advance. And again, looks like level 4 has another ladder block for us.
Yeah, it looked like we had 2 separate ladder blocks in the top segment of it, so it's definitely down to 2 and 8 at this point, as it doesn't look like the Triforce was obtainable in there either.
Also, I had to go back and purchase the bombs. And gonna go ahead and waste 2 on the pickup just to top off. So at only 2 rupees, you can afford to be a little generous on your spending. Truant is just entering level 1 for the first time and has been building the heart count there. Very nice tech there for Captain Green. He stun locks one of the mini dig doggers with the boomerang, then finishes it off with the arrows, leaves the room so that the rest of it despawns and he gets credit for the kill. This should be bombable to the south, right? Sure enough. Well, that's a room. Bunch of fires, but they grouped up nicely for Captain Green, and that is the Triforce in level 2, as simultaneously Eat My Steel's got the Triforce out of level 1. Steel has not found this bow yet, but is probably not going to want to leave an item behind from level 1, as Alsoa is going to purchase the wood arrows. And Truant's going to grab the red ring. Well, as for what we're looking for right now, big thing would be the ladder, because that will give us the wand. To answer a question in chat. So far, levels 2 and 8 looking like our most likely candidates for hosting that ladder.
CG7 left level 2 again after getting that Triforce without going back in, so I'm wondering if that's got a problem as well.
There was that dark room with a river, but he went around to the right, so I don't think that was a ladder block.
And he's now spotted the unfortunate room of Blue Wizrobes. The reason why I think that's a staircase, it's not 100%. You'll notice that to go up into that room, it was a shutter door. But when he accesses it from the other side, it looks like it doesn't close behind him at all. And that's usually a small sign that there might be something going on.
It's looming pretty large at this point, that we've had a couple of trips in here and not otherwise been able to find the item. And the odds that that's an item room just went up. Captain Green uses a staircase to another section of level 8.
Yep, it's a one-off, and he's clearing it mostly because he has to make sure that isn't the Triforce, and or perhaps a compass to help him out, but I thought I saw that somewhere else in the dungeon, perhaps blocked up by something.
Does he go back for that Wizrobe room with his 10 bombs, or does he press on in the dungeon and force him back to that room?
Oh, he's going to do it, and here's why. He took a bot from the Keys and is now bombing like crazy in this room and trying not to take a hit because he's on an 8 count. Unfortunately, he took it. But what his hope was there was to go ahead and get a lot of these guys bombed without taking the bop, and if he got 2 of them down, it would then leave him in a situation where he had a bomb pack on the floor, and he's going to do the same thing again here, I'm pretty sure, where he's going to try and get a bomb drop off of perhaps the Moblin somewhere.
Well, I think he's trying to he's resetting so he can force a 10 count, get a bomb drop, and then go back in there, because it won't reset the room as long as he doesn't leave the dungeon. Okay, he didn't take a hit. As also he gets the Triforce out of 6. Not sure if we've seen any of these enemies drop bombs RNG. These guys count. He does! Alright, now you can kill that last Wizrobe. And he got a little lucky that the Moblin was the highest ranked enemy in that room.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but I thought had crossed my mind as well that he may have to re-navigate his way across the dungeon a little bit.
If he up-8 but didn't leave the dungeon, would the room reset?
Nope.
Okay. So he did have that in his back pocket at least.
Womp,
It's
womp.
nothing!
I would burn it too.
Burn it all!
That's a pretty lame thing to have stop you there, is the push block that doesn't push after the shutter door doesn't shut behind you.
That stings. So again, we've seen the double block room, we've seen the transport staircase, so it really looked like that was going to be one of our item rooms. Totally understandable play for Captain Green, without question, I think.
I would have made the same play, maybe not as quickly. I might have looked around the dungeon a little bit more and prayed that that wasn't involved, but That's just me.
I mean, to make the argument, if you were going to explore the rest of the dungeon, are you thinking that that's not an item room, or is it more you're thinking, let's find the other one first and see if it's easier and see if it gives me what I need?
I'm looking around saying, please let that be the book that has no impact on the seed whatsoever.
Why, game? Why? We've not seen many other staircase eligible rooms, so that may be the one.
I would be a little surprised if he didn't. Oh, he's just gonna take all the hits from him now. I think he's got to look around a little bit more. But does he have to use bombs to get around a little bit more too? Man.
With no bombs right now, he may be thinking I've got to go back and buy some. It's a bit far from where he is, but not the worst walk. Really getting out of the Lost Woods is going to be the most convoluted part, because he's going to have to go around several screens to get where he wants to be. Now, so sees the magic boomerang and says no thank you.
Yeah, he almost up and A'd out the regular boomerang as well, and then realized the same thing that I had mentioned earlier, which is you can kind of stun your way through some rooms if you need to. Pick that one up.
Gonna grab a Triforce out of 1. And by the way, if this is not the rare shop, then Boyd's sure done a great impersonation of it. We have not seen bombs for sale anywhere else.
Yeah, from what I saw, there's 2 shops that are very plentiful, and there's 2 shops that I've only seen 1 out of. So either that's one of the less common shops, but not the rare shop, and just happens to have everything else on the raft spots or something, or it is in fact the rare shop itself.
Truant is digging out the level 1. Purchased the arrows in anticipation of finding the bow, but has not located it yet.
Yeah, and all 4 runners now know the bow's in there, and every single one is preemptively buying the wood arrows just because they know it's their first chance at real combat.
Well, I think Steel has found the bow and just picked up the arrows. Slightly reversed order, but, otherwise, it's understandable if you know you're in the dungeon with the bow. Now, Soa's got the bow and arrows. Truant still trying to complete the set.
Based on what I've got marked for coverage of the overworld, it also looks like this is a situation where either the ladder is required to get to the raft in like 4 or 2 to get to level 5 scenario, because I still haven't seen anybody enter level 5. I've got everything basically marked off except for raft spots.
And we have not seen a lot of screen scrolling tonight. I am not an expert on the topic by any means, but they could theoretically screen scroll to 4, could they not?
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
It's got a barrier around it, but it's also got water on 3 of the 4 sides. I think only the top side doesn't have water present, so can't do it.
Truant has his bow. Well, you know what I don't think we've seen is where the recorder is actually taking us. Or is that already set in the flags?
It's set. It's recorder to beaten dungeons and new.
Okay. That'll still help our overworld navigation a little bit. More than the warp zone, anyways. Captain Green is only just now getting hints. This does help you rule out a lot of the dungeons already. Alsoa into level 2 with 3 keys. We saw exploration of this earlier, but not a complete clearing.
Yeah, but I never really saw why, so I'll be interested to see what he comes across in here.
We hadn't seen anybody go back to 2 either.
This could still be quite a while because the chances of Silver's being thrown into 9 at this point, based on our knowledge, is getting extremely high.
Well, the forced is off because of well, it already wasn't forced, never mind. But I was going to say it couldn't even be 50-50 because we saw the red ring. There's the book on the floor, too. Oh my. Is it that one where's room in 8?
Well, there's also another key door that I don't think he went through in that wizard room because he saw the shutter door below and to the right of that room. I'm assuming he's still hoping that the ladder is much more obtainable than clearing that second wizard room.
Yeah, not ideal, especially because he was out of bombs at the time. Or perhaps had 2, but that's effectively out when you have to clear a room full of withropes. And there's the heart to complete level 2. So we have seen everything except... no, Captain Green saw the Triforce, so we have seen all of level 2. So we still have, outstanding, the Raft Recorder, Silver Arrows, Red Candle, and Magic Key.
Recorder's off that list.
Huh?
Said the recorder, I don't know if by accident or not. That's definitely off the list.
I may have meant Raft and said Recorder.
Perhaps. I'm just saying.
Well, let's get our information accurate. Or as accurate as we can get it. That fiber. Truant lost 2 rupees shooting at the fiber. The good news for Eat My Steel is he can afford a lot more arrows now. Well, Eat My Steel is getting close to being able to pick up... needs 1 more to have a chance at picking up the Magic Sword Bomb upgrade. Adding another 2 to your max wouldn't be awful, as Captain Green has located the Triforce in level 4 and picked it up. Don't think he went to the right of that Goma room, so he may be going back in here. And there just aren't that many choices left for potential progress, so... You really don't want to leave a potential item behind in this level 4 now. Between Captain Green in 4 and Alsoa in 8, I feel like we're going to see an answer.
I almost wonder if Captain Green's rooting for it now to be an A just for his position within this race is concerned. Because if it's in 4, he spent a lot of time just trying to get through 8. Didn't pay off for him.
Compass in 4. Necessary.
So it's definitely in the, I believe that's actually the vanilla ladder room. It's where the item is.
Yeah, that's another thing we talk about is with vanilla shapes, you've got those vanilla hidden rooms back on the table as well.
Alright, so here we go, level 4. It's not a push block, but it's a spiral. What's it got?
The red candle! That is bad news, okay news, but bad news.
Yeah, of the remaining items, I guess it's slightly better than the raft, but not really, considering we think that level 5 could be blocked up.
What it will do is give him the unlimited offense.
Yeah, but his other options were basically any key on 0 keys would have been thrilling. Ladder, obviously, get you the wand. That's amazing. Red candle's definitely helpful, but I think if you asked him which was the worst item on the board for him to find at this point, assuming he's seen the book, it'd be this. Now it looks like he's arming up to go back to level 8. Didn't get his count right.
He did see the book because he took the Triforce and he left 2. And unless he thought he was blocked for some reason, it wouldn't make sense to leave 2.
So what he's done now is he's taken the bop already on the overworld. He's at 0 on his consecutive. Now he's at 1. He's going to try and build up a little bit of a count, I think, to go there, or he's just going to go somewhere else. Oh, that's not level 8. I'm wondering if he's going to build up to 10 and then go in.
Try and take it damageless. Well, obviously you're trying to take it damageless, never mind. But try and get it on the first kill.
So what he's going to go for is he's going to build his count to 10, and then if I were him, I'd take a bop at this point, basically try and kill 9, and get myself set up to where I'm on my 10th enemy again when I get to that blue wizard room.
Well, he's filled up to 10. He's on 0 right now.
This Keith's room is a free 8 every time, but he's going to pass it for now.
To answer a question in chat, they're all playing the same randomized seed. So everything is the same for each of these runners except their own play.
Okay, this room gets him around that. He's going to take the bop.
I think he's at 1.
There's still every opportunity for one of the items to be up here somewhere and not a mass of blue whiz robes.
You're optimistic an hour into this seed. Of course, you're watching it, not playing it, too.
Well, there's only so many rooms that can be infested with them. It's not going to be this room since second quest staircases are off.
You got an RNG bomb drop. Or global, I should say. But that was not a 10 count force.
What was in the room?
What do you call the snake dudes?
Hold arms.
Sure.
And he took a bop and actually got the... Or I guess he bombed the keys a couple rooms earlier. That was definitely a force then. Because those guys can't drop it.
Oh, you're saying it was stored?
Yep.
Okay. Good point.
Alright, so the shutter door to the right is housing one of the items on the other side of it, most likely. And the other one is definitely blocked by the blue whiz robes, is what we've kind of come to realize at this point.
Triforce out of 3 for Eat My Steel. Alsoa did have to leave level 8, so we didn't really find anything new on his part. Well, Fall, we welcome you to the weekly here and hope you enjoy. You are seeing... You're getting quite the first experience. We don't always play with no swords, but when we do, it's always quite the thing.
Alright, here's Spiral Staircase past the Triforce, along with the Compass. Thanks, game.
Now, Soa has just found his red candle, and it's the ladder!
I think he's still going to probably consider clearing that Wizrobe room based on how little he has left, knowledge-wise, to have to go figure out. You know, he doesn't know where 5 is. It could be raft blocks. He could also have the silver arrows being blocked by those blue Wizrobes. That's not out of the question. Although, actually, at this point, well, let's think about this. We found the item in 2, we found the item in 4. The only items outstanding are in 5 and the second item in 8, so that makes it the raft, assuming level 5 is raft block, which would put your silvers in indicate 9.
Yeah, unless somehow between all of our runners we have missed a dungeon location an hour in. That would be hard to imagine.
I was tracking on the side as well, so that would... They'd also have to make a fool out of me, which I've been made a fool many times, but...
And that's fair. I was going to do the same, except for the fact that I had trouble finding my Z helper link. Because I signed up for this 2 minutes before we started.
I got you beat by 8 minutes.
Right, Captain Green. This room. It's go time. Got his bomb drop. Really, the only big thing right now is don't die. That's all. Just don't die. Little bomb management does help, though. Does not have unlimited here. Only 2 left.
They're all within 1 or 2 bombs at this point, because he's hit both of these guys.
I think he's going to go force.
Not a complete surprise.
Oh, especially with the old man right there.
Yeah, there's only a handful of green or blue moblins, whichever color you want to call them, in this dungeon. Most of it's in bubble rooms as well, so they have no chance to reset. So if you're not forcing in this dungeon, you're in a little bit of a bind. Again,
He's trying to go from 0 to 9 count, kill something with a bomb, and get a bomb drop. So he bombed the old man.
That's good enough.
Gives him 4. Is he going to be satisfied with that? With 2 of these to kill? He may have to be.
That's a really awkward spawn. I think he was hopeful they narrow spawn, which means they spawn the other side of the room, but they kind of come at you at the same spot on the row at the same time. You can bomb them for free.
Well, I thought what he was maybe going to do was force a 9 count and then carry the 9 count in against the Wizrobes. Instead, he does go down there. He's going to have 7 bombs to kill 2 Wizrobes with. Now he can carry a 9 count in there, and that's a much better position to take out 2 Wizrobes. If he can do this without a bop, he will get another bomb drop. There it is.
And this should be the raft. Let's see if we're right.
It is.
So that guarantees our entire central column, item-wise, we know now. So he's only got to walk back to the Triforce and then go look at Raspas to see if that was indeed what was blocking our last level.
Well, it took a while to get momentum in this seed. Really? It was a couple of keys to get you through level 1. The right path led to the bow. And with a little bit of cash, Captain Green was able to start rolling from there. It was just a bit of a slog to get through our exploration, but that is quite the Wizrobe room. All of our runners are still going to have to get through for level 8. I almost feel like a no sword seed needs to guarantee bombs can't be the rare shop. But who am I to say? Captain Green has his wand, and now he can say, I'm killing everything in my way. Alright, raft location number 1 is not our level. And you can enjoy some nice toasty fire. We wouldn't want you to go cold. And Captain Green, remembering where his levels were, uses the warp whistle to get back in range of the other dock. Not too many screens away.
See how good our tracking was in this one.
Well, obviously this is where Captain Green thinks it is. And here we are. Level 5. We know by hint that this is the Coast Heart. It's been shuffled in with the wand being shuffled out to the ladder spot. Saw a couple potential ladder blocks in other dungeons, but turned out to not actually be ladder blocks. And if we're right here, it means Captain Green is going to have to dip back into 3 to be able to complete his Triforce.
Yep. A small little trick there that Captain Green decided not to do was to pirouette the top bomb wall. He had the shutter door to the north in the chip room that he cleared. I thought he was going to use that to save the bomb. And then the other thing to note about this 5 is the T room's actually forced it into segments, so your staircase is going to go from this side of the dungeon to the other side of the dungeon.
There's that heart in level 5. Captain Green has no use for it. Now our other runners have enough hearts that it is a possible play to go for that bomb upgrade and considering it's only 2 screens away from the entrance to level 9, pretty automatic, I would say. That you're going to at least try for it. Green may have the Triforce out of 3, by the way, but you don't want to mark things on the tracker if you're not necessarily sure of it. Hi, Aquamentus.
Apparently,
we could have just used a kill with a bomb.
Apparently, our 11 hearts is no good as well for the magical bomb, so only Truant has a chance at it at the moment.
For blind runner knowledge, your minimum chance is when you have the 2 on the top row. So Eat My Steel has, as Alsoa here is going to find his ladder. And that's going to open up a lot. To blind knowledge, Eat My Steel would have the minimum requirement.
And very quickly, Captain Green has gone from just a single key left to his name to 6 keys inside of this level 5. Level 5's kind of got a reputation for having a lot of keys on the ground for you to be able to pick up, and it's certainly holding true in this seed.
Of course, also the last dungeon you come to. Question in chat, what is the A key? The magic key, the any key, call it the George key if you want to, but it will unlock every one of these key lock doors in every dungeon throughout the game. Alsoa into 4. This is a return trip. But did Alsoa not go crank the wand? Must not have if he's using the boomerang instead of the wand, but why would you come back into a dungeon without the wand? I don't understand. Question in chat about our label. 2019 was a Zelda 1 randomizer tournament named All Boards, No Swords. It means that every dungeon is required to get the Triforce piece to be able to unlock level 9 and then complete level 9 with no sword. Hey, there's one of our bomb upgrades.
But the bomb upgrades are actually basically right on top of one another, too.
That's just disgusting.
So they're both in level 5, which is blocked by the raft, which is blocked by 8 blue whiz robes. So good luck getting to those bomb upgrades early on.
Yeah, pretty much. Captain Green just had no money in getting there to be able to do that. As Eat My Steel is going to grab the Triforce at a level 2. I don't know if anybody's going to get there with enough money, but now Truant has been able to pick up his ladder.
Yeah, Truant's probably the only one that's going to have the money short term to consider the options.
Steel is not that far off, but 30 rupees is kind of a bit. On the other hand, when you know you need arrow money, you may be picking it up a little more often.
Yeah, my guess is level 4 was far enough away that Alsoa decided he really didn't want to. Or level 8 was far enough away, it was up at, what was it, level 5 vanilla. And he just didn't want to go to the coast to pick up his wand that early. But now he's going to the fairy fountain instead of going to the location that has the wand, so I don't know anymore. I was going to say maybe he's
picked up the Triforce at a level 8. And one thing I want to mention is, while he has the red ring, Captain Green has paid a couple of muggers with hearts. So he is by far the lowest max health of our runners. Now, He's obviously a very capable runner, but in a nasty level 9, that could make a difference. Of course, with the way the rest of the scene is gone, we may see a very timid level 9.
It depends on how many dungeons we've actually seen Wizrobes in at this point. There's a guarantee to be at least 2 of them.
I am sure we've seen at least 2. I feel like they were 4 and 8. Druid not dilly-dallying with the wand. No, right now that wand feels like you're invincible. Apparently he picked up the book. I don't know why he picked up the book, but did.
Clearly for rooms like this. You now see.
I guess it does keep you from having to switch to the candle. Also's, meanwhile, has picked the right room in level 8. Ran out of bombs! Oh no! Truant gets his Triforce out of level 6. But no, Alsoa is not out of bombs, but he noped out of the room. He
hard reset. He hard reset instead of saving or anything like that, so he has his initial bomb set up back.
Okay. So he did run out of bombs. I was going to say, that would sting if he left with bombs. Well, he is very broke now.
Looks like CG7 is going to get his Triforce out of 7 here in a moment, be down to just a 1 and level 3, so not too far away from seeing a runner enter level 9 at this point.
And again, we found level 9 pretty early on in this. It's just left, or just to the right of our vanilla start screen. And there's Triforce for Captain Green. Steel is still trying to find his way through this level 8. You know how important it is. Steel probably has a pretty good idea how important it is. Again, once you've done enough exploration, that raft spot starts looming very large. Truant is going to nope on the red candle.
Yeah, he's got the book and the wand, so that's good enough.
It is basically an upgraded red candle. It was a floor drop in level 2, so that does make it a little easier to accidentally pick up the book. Many runners will forego it because of the fire effect on the wand. Of course, one of the things that drew me to the randomizer and caught my attention in the first place was the very first seed I happened to catch on Twitch was a boomstick seed. And that's very eye-catching. That being where the book turns the wand into bomb explosions. And a complete Triforce for Captain Green at 1 hour 16 minutes. He is officially on his way to level 9. So Fred, the programmer of Zelda 1 Randomizer has experimented with a few different ways to add value to the book instead of making it a worthless item. Boomstick was the original. A little more popular these days is an Atlas book, which is especially valuable in Shapes Dungeon Seeds. And then also you have a flag where the old man hints will not be understandable unless you have the book. A couple of options that can add value. You got a favorite one?
I mean, the boomstick is kind of fun, but I think preference these days for runners is the Atlas, just because of the tendency to play shapes and want to kind of have the experience of having a new dungeon every time you walk in. Having that in your hands or in your possession is pretty powerful.
There's the ladder for Eat My Steel. And I agree. I think that Atlas is my favorite to watch, just because you put the boomstick in the hands of a skilled runner, and the seat is just no challenge to them whatsoever. They're gonna just destroy it completely. The Atlas feels like a pretty good balance.
Oh, we do confirm the Wizrobe set is still level 9, so that's not going to be a ton of fun.
Hey, Zelda's room. That's a nice early find for Captain Green. So if you're new to the randomizer, when you find a shuttered door and a hint for the silvers, they're in the southwest. That's a lot of information quick as I'm trying to explain something. When we saw that shutter door that didn't open after clearing out the enemies, we know that that is Zelda's room. The shutter door will open only after Ganon is defeated. To defeat Ganon, we need these silver arrows, which we now know by hint is in the southwest quarter of level 9. So, feel like we're looking for some transport staircases now.
Yeah, I think that's why I went all the way up to the southeast corner without using any keys at that point to try and see if there was a free staircase. Which, of course, there wasn't. Why would there be if you're looking for one?
Now, Soa doing business in 3, Truant in 8, and Eat My Steel is going for his wand. Unfortunately, of the many positive benefits that the wand has, fighting Wizrobes is not one of them. So this is pretty much the worst enemy set you could have in level 9.
And we have the roar here, which appears to mean that Ganon is in the northwest of Skull, whether it's up or west from that room above.
So Captain Green has gotten all of the information. He just does not physically have the silver arrows yet.
Well, hold that thought. This is the southwest.
Okay, here we go. At 1 hour, 21 minutes, Captain Green is officially in go mode. Let's see. This battle versus Ganon. Only 2 hearts. So you can't take that many hits. As Eat My Steel grabs the Triforce out of 6, and for the first time, here's Ganon. Would you say this is the worst room to fight Ganon in?
No.
Or would that be an NSU?
NSU has the most tendency to really foul up the way that Ganon spawns. The other room that's really awful is actually the double moat, where it's top and bottom. The Chevy in this room, it doesn't tend to foul him up as much, although he was off there a little bit.
But Captain Green did have a potion and used it, and down goes Ganon. Now again, we knew very early where Zelda is. He knows the exact route. He is on his way. Up and Ace goes back to start, and looks like 10 hearts is enough, and Zelda is rescued with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 19 seconds. Captain Green is our 4th place overall, 1st place on stream. As for who's number 1, this will shock no one. Third Wolf, our 1st place with a 112. Scytown in 2nd with a 115. Chester finished in 3rd with a 119. Captain Green, 4th overall, 1st on stream. Made very good work of that one. Again, it felt like he was able to make pretty good progress once he got through 1 and grabbed that bow. This was just... It took a lot to get through that level 8. I guess in retrospect, you didn't need something like a ladder to get through it, but you just needed a lot of bombs to get through it.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate with setup that 8 had this time. You basically had that blue wizard room right off the bat, and you assume that that might be something, and if you clear that one, you get disappointed, and that's what Truant's going to get here shortly.
Anything to add, Captain Green, or did that pretty well cover it?
I didn't hear all of that, but if Truant's clearing that room with sadness and 8, then yes, I feel very bad for him.
Yep, he just cleared it and is pushing the block and is walking out of the room, or probably just retrying at this point to get his bombs back.
Yeah, that's just an awful feeling when you spend all that time and all those bombs and then it just doesn't even push.
Oh, wow.
13, not enough. A max mags, that's great.
Now, obviously you were giving up the hearts tonight, so you weren't considering that, but then even the regular bomb upgrades, they're both level 5 and you don't have any money to purchase them.
Yeah, that was... Luckily I didn't really need them by that point, but that was just like sort of a slap in the face too. That and the bomb shop being all the way in the southwest corner and having like no levels next to it to record to or anything, so running out the bombs sucked too.
I guess the other low-key disappointment in this seed was that the normal item location in vanilla level 4 was key door blocked, and you didn't really want to spend keys to find out whether or not that was a staircase. And a lot of our runners, just like you did, found out pretty late in the game that that was where the red candle was, and that would have helped for a lot of rooms, just not the blue whiz robes that Truant's now fighting, or having to save out because it doesn't have enough bombs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is one of those things where, like, I was right next to that room early on, but, like, 1 key or 2 key, it's like, and I don't think I'd seen level 1 yet, so it's like, I'd rather kind of save my keys right now.
And unfortunately, a lot of the keys even were in level 5. I think you went in there with, what, 1 key or 2 key, and suddenly 6 or 7 keys later?
Yep.
How about the bomb management on this? Especially that level 8. I think you had to go force a drop twice.
Yeah, luckily the old man was next to the second blue wizrobe room, but it's definitely tricky keeping your bombs up, because you need 3 bomb hits per blue wizrobe, and when there's 8 of them, that is a ton of bombs, even if you're getting multiple at one time. So it's a thing where, like in Swordless, I like to go more slow and steady, and just making sure you get it right the first time, than having to keep retrying over and over again.
You had it down to the 2, and you knew you had at least some damage on them. But you went and forced the count anyways.
Yeah, it's one of those... Because if I miss, and then I'm just at 0 bombs, then I'm in a lot bigger trouble, and I might even have to retry the entire level and start all over again. So I figure it's worth the 1 to 2 minutes to build up the count. make sure I get it on the first try.
Yep, in this specific level 8, I think the Triforce room right below that second Blue Wizard room is really the only room I saw that had a mob one that would actually drop a bomb. So it's almost a required force to complete the seed, which is kind of rough.
Yeah, but this, as far as like ABNS Swiss seeds go, this was pretty rough because it's built, I think, to be a friendlier like introduction to Swordless, but definitely not so friendly tonight.
Truant has gotten through the Wizrobes and will collect his raft.
Unfortunately, the one that's suffering the most right now is Eat My Steel, and mostly because he didn't get a lot of the hint information early, so he had to go and find out the hard way what was in level 6, what was in level 7, what was in level 3, whereas everybody else kind of had either part or full information. Some of our runners even had the no feat of strength hit out as level 7 to know that the power bracelet 3 wasn't that required.
Oh no! Elsoa down to 1 Wizrobe. He misses with his last bomb.
Looks like that is enough of this seed for him, which is understandable too, because it's
totally.
It's a frustrating seed, especially knowing that that room has to get cleared.
Yeah, I can't blame him. That's running out of bombs in that room just sucks. It's like, oh, do I really want to have to go and start this all over again?
Yeah, I saw the chat about the 40-minute mark when John Tabin showed up in chat that he may be the true winner of this seed, depending on how many of those Blue Wizard rooms are required. Thankfully, level 9 really didn't have any of those rooms required and was pretty free.
Yeah, that was the one nice part of the seed after all that was... I mean, I knew Silvers had to be in there for sure, and then it's right next to Ganon. It's like, okay, thank you. I think the only dig that made me sad was level 6. Everything else was fine, but that was a lot of way to go for just a second boomerang.
Yeah, I forget where that hint was. I think it was over towards the Death Mountain shop.
It was. I got that hint shop pretty late, and unfortunately I had already seen all the items it referred to, but yeah, I did not have that the first time through.
Well, we're back in the room of sadness this time. Eat My Steel is going to find out the bad news, I think.
Truant, by the way, has filled up his third Triforce, so now just has to make his way to 5. Well, Captain Green, anything else you want to say about this one?
I don't think so. I think pretty much covered at this point. That was a thing. I'll just leave it at that.
Pretty much. Eat My Steel wants to be really sure in that room. And he opts for the retry.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 2 bomb upgrades that Elsoa was equipped with, and as we saw, that wasn't necessarily enough to kill that room either. I think the only one to get it done in 10 bombs or less was Truant. That's just... You can do it in 10 bombs or less, you just have to have an extremely high amount of patience to sit there and wait for the most opportune times for bomb drops. And it just shows how...
really uncomfortable in a doorway when the Blue Wizrobes are coming right for you.
Yeah, you're in a race, so you always feel that time crunch that somebody's going to make up a ton of time by going through there faster. And it really showcases how important kind of having the knowledge of how to force a bomb on a 10 count really is to getting through these seeds quickly.
Truant is 11 rupees short of a bomb upgrade. Can he find a little bit of cash here? As Eat My Steel is in the right room. Talk about feeling uncomfortable in the doorway.
Yeah, the bottom door, for my money, is easier to force Wizrobes into a pack to kind of come at you all at once or be in the area for a bomb. Bad news is it also tends to be the spot where I take more damage of the 2 doors.
Right, true. Go ahead and to level 5.
Can go ahead and take off tonight and you guys get back to it. Just want to say thank you both Fury and Trenton for the commentary, and Kiros for tracking, and hope you guys have a good night.
Always a big thanks to Kairos for tracking. It's a big job with 4 runners running around all the time. Steel is low on bombs. Does he know about the old man next door?
Believe so. He's narrowed it down to this one room. I think he's really close to actually getting them all down. He's just trying to get them to group and hit them all at once one more time. I'm pretty sure they're all down to just one. There you go.
Got him! With a bomb to spare. And Eat My Steel has his raft. Druid, you might actually want that heart. It's sort of an automatic play at this point that you wouldn't get it, but at the same time, this just happens to be the one-off where that bomb upgrade is right next to level 9.
Yeah, we know it's not actually going to do anything.
We know
for
that.
him, he doesn't. Yeah. Oh, he's just hoping that level 9's easy, and it does require some bombs, but it is an easier level 9, what we saw.
Yeah, he will be fine. We know that. It's just you always want to give yourself everything you can get, especially when you've been on this one for an hour and a half so far. Yeah, by the way, we haven't had another finisher in the last 10 minutes plus. I just remembered to go look. We haven't missed any. It is that kind of night, that kind of seed.
It's not entirely surprising. I mean, of the runners that have finished here really early was basically the some of the top people that were in the All Boards No Swords tournament as well. So to see them kind of manage their way through it doesn't surprise me. And really, you should see people normally finishing a seed that requires all of those blue wizrobes to go down to level 8 to get the raft on no bomb upgrades from dungeons. Probably closer to an hour 40, hour 45. So
we know this to be a pretty quick level 9 if you find the right path through it. Zelda was very early on, and then not that much trouble to get over to Ganon and the Silver Arrows. Hi, Padra. Eat My Steel has enough money for the bomb upgrades. I think that's a 3.
Yep.
Yeah, because he would have been at 10 with the white sword upgrade. Still, no amount of more bombs is going to feel bad.
There's actually a reasonable chance that Eat My Steel can catch up here too, Truon.
Well,
Truett took a staircase that we didn't see on CG7's side, and that's pushed him above Ganon and a little bit further from the hint that would tell him where the silvers are.
yeah, he's on a little different path, and again, the silvers are in the southwest. So this would be considered the northwest. Hello again, Patra. We didn't see Patra the first time in here.
What's funny about this hint is I'm pretty sure he's already heard the glitch roar through the Patra. I'm pretty sure Ganon is just one room to his right currently.
Well, also it's funny because the silvers are in the southwest, so it's like they're right on the border, respectively.
looks like Eat My Still has found the bomb hole that Captain Greed 7 has found. And as long as he's willing to burn a key to go up, he'll get the information that he really needs out of this. Otherwise, he'll have to go around a little bit, kind of like Truant did. See,
not a key-heavy 9. We know that obviously they don't, but 5's a decent number to come into 9 with. I mean, you're never going to feel like you have enough keys for 9 unless you have the magic key, but anytime you're above 4, that's not going to feel too bad.
Yeah, it looks like Eat My Still found a different way into the same staircase that Truant found. So, looks like both of them are going to go exploring the same general area of 9. Outside of an any key, come away pretty disappointed. There is still at least 2 bomb walls left that Truant can travel through and maybe get closer to the silvers, but he needs to be able to bomb to the right or down here. It looks like down works, so he's got a chance still to get over there. We'll see.
Still amusing that he is the only runner who didn't pick up the red candle. Let's see, we've had 16 runners enter tonight and just had our 5th place finisher. As a matter of fact, Butts is going to turn in the 5th place finish, and oh my, not even 10 seconds later, Shaddy is gonna finish in 6th, just 9 seconds behind Putz. I wasn't even finished reading it yet. So still, I believe, 8 runners still going in this one. That's dangerously close to doing math while live on Twitch, though. I don't believe in that, because it always betrays you. This was Zelda's room, right? Yep. So now Truant knows where the kidnap awaits. And hi, Fred's bookshelf. We'll fix that in just a moment here. Maybe. Possibly. There we go. Bye, Fred's bookshelf. Truant and Eat My Steel are both working their way through this level 9. Again, we know it to be a pretty short 9 if you find the right path, but they're covering some territory that Captain Green did not. Truant's starting over in this 9. Now, a lot of people don't like to try and metagame too much from the finish times, but if you look at them, I don't think you can conclude this was a particularly long 9.
It's really... In this one, it's harder to say, I would say, because of how long it was for the runners to kind of get to the point where they could get into 9. They just don't know how early some of these people that finished early actually went and tried their hand at bombing through level 8. But the big problem right now is Truant has to kind of continue up Aing early in this dungeon, given his key counts in a pretty precarious spot, and his bomb count until just a second ago was really bad too.
Yeah, he was out, so he's trying to get more bombs to drop for him. Now that he has some, he can at least force a 10 count.
Yeah, he saw the clock there, which is a pretty good indicator that he's on a 3. So he's now at 5. The next time he whacks a boblin, he should be able to potentially get a 40% drop.
So when you're working a 10 count, what do you like to kind of have in the bank? Like, obviously, he could have picked up another hit there. With little Zol hanging out at the bottom, but he passed on that to stay at just 6.
Yeah, so there's 2 counts that you can utilize in this game. One's the global, which is not impacted by the hits that you take. Just got his 6th bomb there. I'm pretty sure I didn't see him take out another enemy. So it drops a bomb on 3 different numbers if you cycle 1 through 10, even though it technically goes beyond that. And you're looking for like 1, 6, 8 as your numbers. And if you know the bomb group well enough, you can kind of see where the clock is, and the clock's usually on a 3, so you can kind of guess from there on the global side as to where you're at. The consecutive counter is the one we've been talking about when we've been watching Captain Green kind of farm his counts up, and that's a more guaranteed bomb per se than the other ones, as we're going to see the silvers on Truant's side right now. If you farm up after taking a hit to 9 and just bomb on the 10th one, it's 100% versus the 40% or so that you would have otherwise on the globals.
We'll say, just in fullness, that there are definitely runners who gravitate towards the global count instead of the force 10 count, because occasionally you take those hits and they mess up your 10 count.
Yeah, when you're watching somebody do a vanilla no up and A route, you see them usually tracking both just to try and see when they can get a miracle bomb or when they can force one.
Here we go with Truant Gamer versus Ganon. Down to half a heart, cannot take a bop. He gets fireballed and will have to go back to Ganon. Captain Green was close to being in the same position, but he did pick up a potion at some point, so probably one of the bonus caves, and used that for the Ganon fight. Obviously, though, now has all the pieces to the puzzle. He has the silver arrows, he knows where Ganon is, he knows where Zelda is, and can finish this out. Eat My Steel has found the compass. Truant was still killing some stuff. I'm wondering if he's trying to work a fairy.
I think he was trying to, and then he kind of got messed up by the Landmolar room trying to kill them off quicker.
Hiei joining us in the chat now. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. I hope everybody is doing well. So the biggest thing is Truant can take 1 Hyrule driver. He cannot take 2. Of course, you get the stun lock, and you don't have to worry about such things. Oh, Ganon got away! But he's in critical and down.
Yeah, the great thing about the wand in that room is it has a really wonky and large hitbox at times, and he caught Ganon swinging well below him at his feet and still somehow got him into red zone. Looks like
there is Zelda.
Yeah, good enough for 8th place. We had Jay Wade at 146.28. Truant 27 seconds after him.
That is one where I got to imagine every runner who finishes is going to feel accomplished, and, well, we'll find out if that's what Truant is thinking.
Just as long as he doesn't go full also on us, we're good.
I can only imagine what that means.
Oh, he knew better, but I'm sure.
Not going to voice chat.
Yeah, but that was a pretty rude setup for being able to get to the end, for sure.
Yeah, but I gotta say, it was fun the whole time. It didn't really bug me having the tough seed in this one, not like some recent ones that I've done.
So you weren't mad at that room in level 8 with the double push block that didn't push?
Oh, that was just funny.
Fair enough.
Just why not at that point?
50-50 chance of Blue Wiz Road being one or the other, and it was the wrong one. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think the only thing that really sped Captain Green up at that point is he basically had full knowledge of everything but level 3. And I think he must have known what the item was in there because he didn't go looking for it. And basically knew that his raft and his ladder were in level 5 at that point, or in level 8. Couldn't get to level 5.
For a while, I was thinking that maybe the big holdup was the bow once I found that in 1, but seeing the red candle pretty much free if you can get to it in 4 probably made combat a bit better for a lot of people.
Yeah, my assumption, Captain Green didn't get it until like just before the ladder, or just after the ladder, I forget which. Anyways, he didn't have it very early either. I'm assuming that's probably what got some of the earliest finishers going early enough, as they were willing to sacrifice the key on that one-off room. Yeah, certainly a seed that really forces bomb counting, or at least good bomb management into a dungeon to be able to at least have a chance to finish off the seed.
And a lot of people are really going for that tonight. Still 6 runners, I believe, going at this one as we close in on the 2-hour mark. Eat My Steel still trying to find that path to the silver arrows. Well, Trent, I guess the only question I could throw out there right now is, were you tracking globals or 10 count or both?
I was doing my best to track the 10 count. I was having a couple issues with the when the Zols were splitting into gels, and a couple times it hit a 3 instead of a 2, and it threw me off, and I was trying to figure out what it was. I think twice I just went back and took a bop instead and started over instead of gambling.
Where is this any key in level 9? It seems like you and Eat My Steel took kind of the scenic tour of level 9, and he's still going, and I think only has a handful of rooms left to go and still hasn't seen it.
I think he's got about a quarter of the rooms. Felt like still a pretty decent number. I hadn't seen his mini map in a while.
Looks like he had most of the 2 columns on the west done. He's got the majority of the northeast and the southeast done. He's really only got 7 or 8 rooms left in this entire dungeon to try and solve where silvers and any key are. So that's amazing.
Well, we did get some words from Thurwolf that he didn't have an early red candle or early ladder, so there goes our theories. Truan, any other thoughts on this one tonight?
Nah, I think it speaks for itself tonight.
It was quite the no sword seed.
I am going to head out now, but thanks again for hosting this and having me on.
Have a good night. Eat My Steel is just not having the best fortunes attempting to route this level 9. Apparently we had one comment of from somewhere saying, "Who said all boards no swords is beginner friendly, and can I have some of whatever they were?" Well, let's not go there. I thought that was have some words with them. Yeah, let's go with that. Can you have some words with them? And this just was kind of remarkable that it was the way that it was. Both of the bomb upgrades were locked behind the last dungeon. Those would have made a significant difference. The lack of good repeatable offense, either that red candle or wand, them being so gated for our runners, definitely made a significant difference. I mean, for any of these runners tonight, I think you could see a 30-minute difference if you gave them just one of those advantages. On the high side. But it would definitely be a big impact to have one of those early. Eat My Steel is just looking for silvers in all the wrong places.
Well, if this room drops a key, he'll have kind of backed his way into it. Since it has not, though, it's going to be SOL again. Although I think one of these rooms over here, perhaps beyond this key door, is going to be the any key at this point. There simply isn't enough spots left, and unfortunately, it's gonna be a key blocked door still.
9 being 9. Yeah, now he's hit everything but like 8 to 12 rooms.
And what he doesn't know is that he can actually bomb a wall and get there with 0 more keys, but ooh, there's a 5-er. Go get that. He's not too far from being able to farm himself up a single key, though. 17 is not too bad.
A couple 5-ers you get there, but
yeah, just find a Tektite screen on the overworld that you can smash near a dungeon, and you'll get up there pretty quick.
And right now you're thinking, could I have just fired a couple less arrows? Was there any other way? Not really.
The other problem Ema still has is he didn't actually clear as many rooms as Captain Green cleared in level 5, so there's a good chunk of keys sitting there that he just doesn't, doesn't think of at the moment, that maybe that has the conventional level 5 amount of keys in it. He could also be looking for the other key shop in case it's got a slightly cheaper price, but I don't think that's going to work out for him.
Is it 6 overworld screens he has to go to cycle them?
Yep, you have to go to 6 new screens basically on either the overworld or outer world to cycle.
Well, these pulse boys could do the job.
Key here is to get a whole bunch of them lined up. If you get 2 or 3 of them lined up, then you're going to be profitable most of the time.
They don't feel particularly cooperative today.
He's got a chance of a 5-er coming up here pretty soon. He's not going to take it though.
Get the boomerang. Oh, I think he got his 5-er from the Tektite.
Yeah, if only he had picked up the boomerang, he could have actually gotten +1 there.
There you go. That's his makeup. All right, he's gonna be able to buy that 1 key he really wants now. You don't see many key purchases on these weeklies, but tonight it's what Eat by Steel thinks he needs.
I don't know about the weeklies, but in SG Live finals, you can see people pick up keys from the shop with an any key in hand.
Ren 7 finished in 9th place this evening with a 155, by the way. Give him a shout out. He reset. Oh, he's saving the key, I bet.
Yeah, he's got a handful of key doors that he can't get through, so he's trying not to burn himself out of keys and have to farm from a lot lower count.
He's also got the 10 bombs, too, so he's saving both the key and bombs for exploration. That is not an unreasonable position to take. Meanwhile, happy Monday on the East Coast.
It's also Monday in Sweden. That's King Dahl's location currently, is he, I think, just finished in 10th.
I'm not sure we ever threw the links out there. Let's do that in chat. Hey, if you're enjoying stuff tonight, why not follow the runners? Why not follow the tractor? Commentators, that's more optional. So with that compass, he knows where Zelda is. I would think by exploration, he ought to have a pretty good idea where Ganon is.
Yep, he knows where Ganon's at.
Yeah.
I think this is more to do with how he's got his 9 marked. He probably has a staircase he wants to take.
That, or perhaps he marked off something as not being passable that was actually his bomb wall.
I think this staircase takes him to the way to the T column, I think. Well, no, not quite, but I think from here he can go down and go back up after going to the left 1 room. And there he can get to a key door he's trying to get to.
Or Wizrobes, because we have not seen enough Wizrobes, apparently.
Yeah, you take those. They're red.
They're going down to bombs. That makes them good.
And they give out bombs too. So bonus. Alright, he's going to go up probably. Yep. So he's going to find the silvers before finding the unique key. Now he sees that open door on the other side. Unfortunate.
And there's the silvers. 2 hours, 2 minutes, Eat My Steel has entered go mode. we did have Magic and Friends turn in our 11th place finish, and Mr. Dunlow finish in 12th. And for the final time on stream, here's Gannon. Plenty of hearts to deal with Gannon, but having a little trouble getting the initial hit in.
Yeah, he was half a tile off to the right, but now that he's got the lock, it's pretty much over.
And there we go. Gannon's down. Chad, I hope you have the GGs ready, because 2 hours on a Sunday night to kill Gannon is not a minor investment. Eat My Steel was committed, got the job done, steps away, and the old man gets a bomb to the face. GG to Eat My Steel with a 203.20. He is going to call it a night. That does sound like a reasonable idea to me. Fury, you got any final thoughts on this one?
Thank goodness for blue Wizrobes.
I have absolutely no response to that. Kairos, thank you for tracking. Good night, everybody.
Good night.